It is a pleasure to meet you at this opportunity to refer to the two scripts mentioned earlier concern growth on cities. Direct contact with the official, the financial authorities in the federal government and United States Congress, Senate and House of Representatives, and His Honor the President of United States, and the state governors and cities mayors. This moment contact started with City of Los Angeles Mayor Office, later delivered on what concern the growth cycle or the growth on city budget. And as I mentioned in previous video message, City of Los Angeles and about 400 cities in the United States and a number of cities around the world in different countries subject to much of growth. And let me just focus on the United States. About 400 cities entitled to a similar growth amount in Los Angeles, which brings growth between $2 trillion to $12 trillion. $6 trillion on average. If you multiply it on 400, it's much of growth beyond imagination. That's why I keep referring to U.S. economy subject to huge growth you cannot even imagine. But it is the reality, and this is what the economics about. Resources allocation, and it leads to resources management, leads to financial management, and it leads to investment management through a number of things, the economy structure and what does it contain, and how it does leads to more growth according to availabilities, and how availabilities how it needs to be enhanced, and etc. The main focus on this brief message is two scripts mentioned earlier, and I refer to a specific script. It does bring the conclusion of the growth on cities, but it does apply it on city of Los Angeles, and it is a pleasure to take credit for this early announcement of this growth amount. And everybody knows City of Los Angeles has Hollywood, where the studios, where the celebrities, and where too many creativity, film industries and events made in Hollywood, an essential part of the fourth estate or the fourth authority, through film industries, through television, through theaters, through magazines, through newspapers, and a number of other things, through direct communication with the Washington politicians, Democrats, Republicans, and through the states and through the cities. But reality at this time speaks or refers to certain financial difficulties through the entire state, solvable financial difficulties. Part of the states they have less, part of the states they have more, but solutions tells much of growth beyond imagination. At this moment, City of Los Angeles budget between 700 to 800 billions. Just imagine growth between 2 to 12 trillion, $6 trillion an average growth, which is several times the present City of Los Angeles budget. The scripts, two scripts, scripts named contractor and the other city mayor. I prefer to start with the contractor because it does brings the growth solutions in a very gradual, simple ways to benefit the entire types of cities in advanced economies, in emerging economies, and in developing economies. They can benefit from it, and it does give the film director, film producer, and the film crew the excellency of maintaining the gross amount of the city, and until the solutions takes the way to our officials through federal government and United States Congress and states and cities mayors. It does require an additional effort to address a partial reading on those gross solutions. That's what the script about. Atif Entertainment has previous experience on screenplays, and there are a number of screenplays registered at Writers Guild of America. But it won't take that much with intensive effort, huge effort to focus on writing the script. In 2 days it can be completed. 2 scripts, I experienced writing 2 scripts in Hollywood within 4 days, but edited later on. But at this moment, much of focus on the script, and it does bring immediate reflection of growth through the entire cities, city of Los Angeles on a specific. And I expect main role of the main role character and other leading character on the script, which can be turned to a film. It does include city mayor, and I think the best who can play His Honor the city mayor, the best who can play it, I think, George Lopez. He speaks Spanish, and His Honor the city mayor won will accept the won't reject George Lopez to play his character, or leading characters can communicate with the city mayor himself on a specific, but possibility of number of meeting with the city mayor. It does possible put another character instead of His Honor the city mayor. It does work through the other cities. Can take Chicago, city of Chicago, or Houston, or Miami, but I think it is better to focus and start with city of Los Angeles for a number of reasons. The availability is unlimited. The existence of Hollywood in Los Angeles gives the city and the Hollywood credit to play city of Los Angeles than any other city in the United States. But as I mentioned, 400 cities has the similar situation, and it does brings much of comfort to the decision-making process, federal government and U.S. Congress, Senate, and House of Representatives, and through the entire states governors and their cities mayors, National Governors Association and National League of Cities. They become very glad, happy with this type of films, and it does add another effort to margin call, an excellent performance. Too big to fail, another excellent performance to document a number of things. But movies, it does not get beyond to address solutions. It does verify and justify the reading of the problems, but the different script on the contractor, on a specific, it does bring a partial reading on the solutions, which is enough to direct to the growth script be ready upon request, as I mentioned, in 2 days, just to keep the privacy. It will complete it and delivered. There are a number of well-known actors, actresses, and film producers, film directors become very interested to get these kind of scripts. Leading film directors, Mr. Oliver Stone, and his effort on a number of movies made much of education to in a very difficult, complicated area, the financial structure and Wall Street on a specific. But the economy structure, financial structure needs enhancement. There's no doubt about it. The financial networks, the financial tools, after a brief reading or much of focus on economy, macroeconomics, financial structure, which leads to economy, microeconomics, financial structure, to maintain levels towards the gross domestic product, geographical area, either the national level or state level or city level, or through the business growth cycle of these levels. It is very helpful to mention earlier, because I know the details of the solution, and I know how much does it bring on growth, and what does it mean to state of California, which has at least 6 cities in a similar situation: Sacramento, San Francisco, San Jose, Santa Barbara, and another 2 cities, and a number of other states. They have the similar situation, between 4 to 6 cities with similar gross amounts, and more cities with either less, not too far less from the amount, which brings huge growth to each state, and at the end to the national growth level. Other countries, advanced economies, emerging economies, and developing economies, they can benefit from these kind of readings and the gradual solutions. The best way to maintain solution is to take it on a gradual basis, and that's why the name of the script, contractor, don't want to bring brief synopsis becomes available at any time. I don't want to mention any actors or actress to play the leading role on the script, but it seems the contractor is the leading role on the script. Script becomes ready upon request, and it does worse, what brings growth between 2 to 12 trillions to City of Los Angeles, 6 trillion as an average worse. To my knowledge, the most expensive script or screenplay sold in Hollywood, I think, I'm not quite sure, it's less than 2 millions, but between 1.6 to 2 millions, I think, I'm not quite sure. Well, anything subject to negotiations becomes available. At the end, the main objective is to generate more growth, and it becomes a start for too many other work. And at the end, Atif Entertainment, it does include this kind of work, script division, film production division, and other divisions. It is a pleasure to the script to become ready, and it does work through other, it's not just because Hollywood in Los Angeles, but there is a Bollywood in India, and there is Arabs Hollywood in Cairo, between Cairo and Beirut. They are interested, their economies subject to similar situation, but according to each country availabilities, and it can be written in a different way, but what works on Los Angeles brings much of growth, and it brings much of gradual lessons to maintain this kind of growth, and other countries, they can enhance their availabilities according to each environment, economies, and how it works. At the end, contract and contracting is the main base solution to economic growth, and it is a pleasure to bring the brief on the two scripts, contractor and city mayor. But it is important to start with the contractor, and after that city mayor. Contractor, it does much of the work what concern growth, and not just any growth, growth in trillions of dollars, and does not mean solutions is not ready. The officials, contact made with the officials, list of solutions ready, and I just very fast, $26 trillion, growth in 24 hours, concern U.S. financial industry. His Honor, the President of the United States, contact through the online, the White House mail, the Congress, Senate, and House of Representatives visited and delivered letters concern a number of solutions, briefed on the letters. His Honor, the City of Los Angeles Mayor, letter delivered to his office on a visit made to Los Angeles late year 2012, and it is a pleasure to include this kind of effort, scripts and screenplays, and it's much easier than to write a book, and it can be printed, it can be written, but it takes much time. It's much easier to write a script, and it gets through editing and scenarists to maintain it, and it becomes available, and solution break through the entire cities. An effort to remain in public libraries for years to come, or centuries to come, and it does work through Europe, Asia, America, Middle East, Africa, islands, etc., etc., and effort growth brings much of comfort. That is the main objectives, and network of opportunities. Thank you very much, and Happy New Year.